And you'll just have to say, okay. And it'll mostly record us though. You guys will be little bitty, but it'll record whoever's talking. So if you don't want to be on the main video, don't say anything, just put it in the chat. And if you don't mind, then go ahead and go and unmute whenever and join the conversation. We'll see if some other people join us. I think they will, but I know that this dish is going to take pretty much our full segment. So I'll let Tyler get started.
Alrighty, first off, we're going to get started on the wild rice asa because that's going to take a little bit longer in the process. So let's get the water boiling here.
Oh, is it not?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's just spoiled.
Okay.
All right, well, start with 4 cups of water in your pan.
That was 4 cups of water. Make sure you press it in. Yeah. I'm sure y'all are wild rice experts, but in case not, this is a 15-minute kind. I know there are other kinds that people probably have really strong opinions about, but
These ones. Great choice, y'all. We're gonna keep it simple.
Yeah, I was going for speed.
Yeah, it's worked very fun with our segment tonight. Alrighty, well, while the water is starting to boil here, might want to add like a pinch of salt or something to just help it boil. But while those are in the process there, I forgot to strain it. We're gonna get your potatoes peeled and your carrots going here. I forgot to add a strainer on the tea.
Oh,
things you need. And always remember just to peel towards yourself, not away.
And if you don't have a potato peeler, a knife will do. But yeah.
A paring knife would do best.
And what kind of knife is a paring knife?
It's a tiny little one, about this size.
Like this?
Yep, that's it.
So if you guys don't have a potato peeler, a little tiny knife like this, you can see it compared to my hand, it's little. These are paring knives. I've never had one before. And you can eat potato skin, right?
Yep, it's okay.
So if you really wanted to, you could leave the skins on, or you can peel it, I guess. Either way.
Either way. Just be sure to rinse them very good.
Right. Have any of you guys ever grown potatoes? You girls, have you guys ever grown a potato before?
No, you picked it from the merchant garden, remember? That time, do you guys remember that?
Yeah, but did we plant?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Well, they grow really, really, really good up here. You usually can't grow potatoes from the store because the potatoes from the store have been sprayed by something that prevents them from growing eyes. But you can buy something called seed potatoes from like the local greenhouse, and they grow so good in northern Minnesota in the Red Lake area. So something to think about. I know potatoes aren't the most expensive veggie, so some people like to just buy them, but they do grow really good here. I think that potatoes are kind of famous for being like a bad food. Like, you know, people talk about like potato chips or French fries or whatever. But potatoes are a vegetable. They really do have some good.
So this is ketchup's made out of tomatoes and fries are made out of tomatoes. So then is it healthy?
I like that. I like the creative thinking there.
Good way to get your kids to eat their veggies too.
But potatoes do have more than just like calories or something. You know, they really do have.
Do the tops.
They're good carbohydrates. Red Lakers grew up on like a pretty high carbohydrate diet. So carbohydrates are pretty much your friends.
Which way do I see
And when it's the summertime with all those potato skins, what you can also do is compost them. So you can start a compost bin or a compost pile or a bucket or whatever you want.
Yeah.
And those will actually break down and turn into something that you can feed to your plants.
Let me just see.
Keep an eye on your water. It should be just about ready to boil here.
Do you want
Just where
to the stove? Like, did you turn it down or?
I turned it up just a tad. Making perfect time
I'm
here.
gonna eat this potato if I do it wrong.
I already know what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make our French fries. We're gonna half up these potatoes. Better to half them and lay the flat side down so you don't cut yourself.
See, that's good.
What we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna cut them real thin so they cook evenly with everything. I have everything on the same pan tonight. That means less dishes to wash. And everybody loves less dishes.
It is small.
Has anyone ever tried making sweet potato fries before or tried cooking with sweet potatoes?
Oh,
No? Would you want to? I've been thinking about having us do sweet potatoes too.
yeah.
I actually have sweet potatoes.
I remember.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
mashed sweet potatoes. For
I remember.
it's planning.
Had the
It's
sweet
a planning.
potato fries.
I wanted to have mashed sweet potatoes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That would be really
Remember at the school we had sweet potato fries.
Oh, really?
Just show everyone that you can do something different with all the variety of potatoes we do have. There's a more variety of potatoes, ones that you use for French fries.
Yeah, we're gonna be growing some purple potatoes in our garden in over by the farm, and it's gonna be really good. Usually
Wait,
actually plan some of your diet, like your food, by the colors. So if you look down at your plate and all you see is like this kind of like light tan color, which are the potatoes, you don't want your whole plate to be one color. You want to see some different colors on your plate. That's how you know you're getting all your different nutrients. So like a purple potato or a sweet potato has like really different vitamins and minerals than these regular potatoes. And one of the easiest ways to just tell that is by the color. My grandmother used to tell me to eat the whole rainbow. And yeah, so that's like a really good way to know that, especially whenever something is like orange, like a sweet potato, it has something called beta carotenoids. And those are the things that make birds turn colors, like your cardinals and all your birds. And it's the same stuff that we eat in our carrots and our sweet potatoes.
All right, it's just about time to add our rice here. Your water should be just about boiling, rolling, boiling here. We're gonna add a couple of your wild rice. It doesn't matter if it's like a full cup or not.
Oh, it's
In between maybe 3/4 to a cup.
going.
This is pre-measured, I think. Have any of you guys gone ricing? You got your own wild rice?
Have you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You went to collect the rice.
yeah. Yep, these two went through the immersion program.
Oh,
And
yeah.
This is our daughter Wasaya and our niece Mariana. So they've been exposed and do all of the sugar bushing, wild rice, the processing, the trapping, the snaring, the everything we do at immersion. So they've pretty much
Cool.
participated in.
I love that because I know that half the medicine of the rice is actually going into yourself, you know? So very cool.
All right, we're gonna rinse off your potatoes.
We had wild rice soup for lunch.
So that's just a big old strainer.
And we had
If you can't see it too good.
Your potatoes in there. You're gonna run it under cold water. Rinse off all this brownness
Rinse it off.
that got from in oxygen.
Here, hold on.
And then just keep it in there for now. In the sink. No, keep it in the sink because all that water is gonna, yeah.
What is this for?
I'll put it in the dishwater.
Dishwater. Nasty water?
All right, now we're back with that. We're gonna get our oven preheated here too to 450.
Oven to 450.
And make sure your rack is in the middle rack. Middle rack.
And why is that?
So
What?
all the heat evenly distributes to your food here. We're gonna cook everything on the same platform.
On the middle.
Yeah, we want all the heat to evenly cook everything. Sheet pan?
Oh,
So we need a bowl. Mary, grab a bowl.
Already.
And then the potatoes go
Now
inside.
put your potatoes in your medium bowl here with just a little drizzle of olive oil. I like to just use like
The yellow ones.
not even a capful or so. Basically, all you want to do is just coat it so it don't stick to the pan.
And then the potatoes go inside.
this is
the bowl.
for Sylvia and for Mona too. Have you guys cooked with olive oil before, or what kind of oil do you use at your house?
Yep, extra virgin olive oil.
Nice. I was talking to the
Apple.
best nutritionist, and she was saying that extra virgin olive oil is like
Yeah.
basically the healthiest one that you can do.
It's a great substitute for butter too.
Yeah. It's good for salad dressings too.
Vinaigrettes and
Yeah.
What?
We need the.
gonna
What?
lay it out on your pan as so. You got any pepper?
Hello, Rachel.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
It's in this.
We need some.
I gotta get on her.
Oh, okay.
Need 'em.
A minute.
Now we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt all over it.
Here, grab a spoon and you can.
Right there.
Have you ever made French fries with any crazy flavor?
I like to use like babe seasoning. It's like a southern flavor.
Yeah.
All that oil all over.
Yeah, if you guys ever get bored of salt and pepper, which I never do, but there's a lot of spices that could go on some fries and spices them up. He was saying that he uses Old Bay seasoning sometimes on his French fries. I've used rosemary before. I just really like having rosemary because I'm obsessed with it. So lots of good flavors to do that and mix it up.
Okay, well, that's good.
All right, we're gonna get your carrots hopped up now. Reason why we're gonna hop them up because they're not pre-cooked.
Good.
In the roasting process, the flavors will pop. So you just cut them lengthwise.
Lay it flat, yeah, make sure that.
With our hands. That just let them
Well, just dump it
You
down
guys like
first.
to eat carrots, you girls?
Say yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So she can hear.
You like them better cooked or raw? How do you like them?
Raw.
Raw? That's pretty cool. I like carrots too. Carrots are really, really good. The best thing that I know about them is that they're really, really good for your eyesight. So I have to wear glasses all the time. These are my glasses. I wear them every day. But if I had probably eaten more carrots as a kid, I wouldn't have gotten glasses.
Carrots are actually a good help in fighting cancer too. They come in very different colors in like yellow, purple, orange, even like black.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be growing some yellow and some purple carrots at our farm. And like I was saying, it's just always good to know that our plant relatives are so much more than just what they seem like at the grocery store. Be all kinds of colors. So can broccoli, so can everything. There's a lot of beautiful colors in nature that sometimes we don't think about.
All right, I'm just about done here. Get your rice and stir. Give your rice a quick stir.
You put one row.
And you could cook it al dente too, because it's more in the oven.
That's good.
You need to row.
And I think that something that's really just important about cooking in general is like if you go to McDonald's and you get French fries, you don't have any control, right, over how much of anything that they put on it. But when you cook at home, you get to control. You get to say how much oil, how much salt. So you kind of get some power back. You get to decide how it tastes. I mean, McDonald's French fries are good. Don't get me wrong, but
Oh, I gotta cut
a
that.
little bit better.
Oh, that one. What are you doing?
Stir fries are gonna be pretty good too.
I need one for my next project.
Maybe start making carrot fries instead of little potato French fries.
So you're just cutting the carrots in half.
Butter knife.
Baby carrots will always make your life a little bit easier. But if you're looking to save money at the grocery store, one little trick is that always things that are not are cheaper. So if you're looking to save $1, buying those big bags of whole carrots is better than the baby carrots. And if you buy like a whole cantaloupe, it's better than buying a cut up cantaloupe. So yeah.
And by the way,
I just hang up.
they're actually just cut up big carrots. They're just section them off.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no such thing as a baby carrot. Only regular carrots that have been made tiny.
We'll get these here rinsed off and we'll be able to toss these in some oil too, and we'll get these in the oven.
Now what?
What do you guys think of last week's dessert? Was it good?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yay! I never
Yep,
got to try it.
Yeah, everybody liked it.
I'm so happy to hear that. That one really wasn't too expensive either. I think like total, I spent maybe $90 on about, 10 different sets of them. So that whole pan probably cost not even, maybe between $7 and $9. That whole pan.
We forgot to eat it with the cream though.
No!
Yeah. Our
That's
first
okay.
night, then we did it the second time because there was a big can left.
As we did before, just a little bit of oil, I like to use this like barely
These look like
little capsule.
apples without the.
Oh, yeah.
Toss it in there. You can even like toss the salt and pepper as you're tossing it too.
Look how fancy he is, y'all. That was cool.
There we go. Definitely distribute all those. And we'll get some salt and pepper on that too.
So these are going to be carrot French fries, basically, you guys. They're going to be
Yep.
delicious.
There was gonna be children too, so I made it more family friendly and oriented here. There we go. Let's get that in the oven.
Okay, so once you have your carrots doused in just a little bit of olive oil with the salt and pepper on it, that goes into the oven. Uh-oh.
All right, your recipe is about done now. Let's get that off the burner. Just let it set while we're doing our onions here.
Okay, so if you guys didn't catch that, the water is off now and the rice is just gonna hang out for a minute.
All right, let's do our onion. Anyone familiar with doing an onion?
She's a little distracted for a second,
Okay.
so she'll be back.
Listen. What's the timer for the potatoes and carrots?
Oh, we're gonna go into that. It's about 23 minutes, 25 minutes here. Everything's gonna be going on to the same pan. About 7 or 8 minutes, we're gonna actually pull them out and put our loaf in it.
Oh, okay. So I don't need a timer.
Yep.
What about the rice?
If you wanted to set one for like 20 minutes or 25 minutes, just so that you're aware of the time, you can do that.
Yep.
Probably should do that.
I know, I burn everything.
I won't need to because you guys are here. If it was by myself, I would need to.
There you go.
Okay.
Alrighty, is anyone familiar with cutting an onion?
Go for it.
Okay, we're just gonna half it like that, that's all. You can just peel off the excess.
I'll get up for that.
I'll show you how to do it to the root here without barely any waste here, hopefully.
Onion.
Hopefully I get it right on the first try.
I think she's gonna get the goggles
Oh.
from her fun pit.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Onion is like so good for you. I never ever knew that. I really just thought people who cooked with onions just spend on flavor, and I just didn't get it. Onions are antibacterial
Feel this one?
and antiviral.
Just don't touch your guys' eyes after.
The reason that onions smell so strong, the reason that they make us cry is because that is their defense mechanism in nature to not get eaten. The onion doesn't want to get eaten, so the onion says, okay, I'm going to smell super strong and be super powerful. And it resists a lot of bacteria and a lot of viruses that way. And it helps us resist bacteria and viruses when we are eating it. Sorry, I'm so
That's
talkative.
fine.
Go ahead.
Do we got a cheese grater or something? Yeah, perfect. That will be right. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Let's get this. Right now, we're gonna cut our onion here. We're gonna mince our onion, okay? Cut off a little bitty tip off the 10, right there. We're gonna get a little slit right here. Careful. Right here. And right here. All right. Now we're gonna cut it as thin as you can. We could always come back and chop more, or chop it up too, more finer if you can. Just guide your knife along your finger like that. And pull that down.
Oh, you guys, this man is a professional. I've literally never seen someone do an onion so good. That's
There
awesome.
you go. Barely any waste there. Hopefully. You could always go back and refinely chop it too. This right here, this is gonna go for like the gravy.
Okay, let me see.
We're gonna have onion and thyme gravy tonight. Cover our. Now, what were we making? Are we gonna do meatball stuff? Or are we gonna do it?
That's up to you.
Alrighty, well,
Meatballs make more.
Oh my god.
okay, yeah, we could do a little meat. Or meatballs.
And you can explain to them that they can do it both ways.
Yeah. Alright. Just gonna set that aside for now, okay? Thank you. We'll just set this aside.
I need a bowl. What? Grab me a bowl, please.
What?
Grab me a bowl, please.
Just need a proof.
Just about.
Oh, no, this piece
Cut the
of.
tip off this. Grab your bowl.
I don't want.
Where the cheese graters come involved here. There's different kinds. Actually, there's a slicer. Looks like there's
Oh, the slicer. I don't know if you
a
have.
zester and a grater. And there's this another fancy one right here for to do fancy stuff cheese here.
That looks fun.
Alrighty, and this is what we're gonna grate our onion in, okay? I believe it will probably be best to do it in a zester chop.
Green the onion.
Okay, yeah, that bottom part we're gonna be using. I grabbed the yellow bowl, Maddie, right there.
There you go.
Get some texture in there, as you must.
Yeah, I've heard that putting texture in your food is actually one of the ways that people eat less food.
Yep.
If you eat something that's like all one consistency, like me when I just make
I'll hold this.
mac
you
and cheese
just
for
do it along.
myself, I'll actually eat more than I would eat if there was diverse textures in the food. So that's just a little trick I heard on the radio.
I'll hold this is really short.
Make a complete meal instead of just showing you just how to meat.
Yeah.
You can have like a variety of food. That way you don't eat one thing, and you actually do get more full, like you said.
Oh yeah, girls, you got it. Trust yourself. Woohoo!
Big chunks flowing or something. Cut 'em up. Throw 'em back in.
This. It's already cursed.
Are you guys crying yet?
Not yet, huh? It's burning. Oh, it is. It's burning, right?
Yeah. Right as you said it, my eyes started burning.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's always hard for me.
That's my eye acting weird.
Okay, which one?
Looking all right down here.
Ow. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid.
And Mona, I see you're here too. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat.
Skin. I peeled off its skin. Needed so. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Thyme and garlic.
Just don't touch your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And people talk a lot about how root vegetables are something that you can eat to feel grounded. So if you feel like everything is spinning and you're losing control and you don't know what's going on, some people will say that you should eat more root vegetables. So garlic and onions both grow in the dirt. And so some people will say that you should eat them to feel grounded, which I thought was really beautiful. Carrots and beets as well.
Yep.
Cool.
Here's how you cut up your garlic here. Now I like to use like a little rag or something just to protect my knife. Because you're gonna use your knife and you're gonna
Go wash
put
your
it
hands.
down.
Go wash your hands now.
Yes,
Onions,
and you're gonna get them cloves out of there.
I say wash your hands with soap.
See, and that will be one clove.
What do you call the whole thing? Like a head of garlic?
I believe so, something like that.
Okay.
Not too
Yeah.
up on it.
Yeah, that's like another thing for like finances at the grocery store definitely is that like minced garlic is nice, but it's really expensive and
Yep.
like garlic cloves are pretty cheap.
And you're just gonna mince it as good as you can here. It actually has a little layer on there, so you might want to peel
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't think they're peeled yet. Do
it.
you know the trick?
Uh,
I can show you what a Panamanian lady taught me.
Okay. See, I'd like to learn too.
To peel them really quickly, this is a trick that a very wise woman once taught me. You take your clove of garlic, and it's still in its little case, and you are gonna smash it with the flat side of the knife. And then the peel comes off super easy.
Oh.
You can do it twice, actually.
Yep. And then it comes right off. Like that. You got it.
Yep. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah. I was struggling at a birthday party trying to cook dinner, and she taught me that. Do you like eating garlic? Girl who's dancing. Do you?
I
Have you ever
like
tried it
garlic.
before?
like garlic bread.
Oh, there you go. So you like garlic. Do you know that garlic helps keep vampires away?
All right,
Kind
we're gonna
of.
add that to the bowl.
Some
Wait, how much garlic?
The whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing, okay.
No, yeah, just like the whole clove, 1 or 2 cloves, I think it was.
Yeah. We're gonna add another clove into our gravy.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
But I always say that there's never too much garlic. I always go crazy with it. I always do more than the recipe calls for because I love it.
Yeah, so you could cut up your other clove and just set that aside with your other bowl there. You could even add it into the same bowl.
So he's got his onion in 2 parts. Half of it's in the silver bowl, half of it's in the red bowl. And then he's putting a clove of garlic into each.
And now comes the time.
Time, THYME, not time like a clock.
Hey, girls, I need the seasonings over there. It's in the baking.
Hope you were.
And then get the,
Yeah, that's what I was.
eight.
I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, they put this all.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
You're just gonna peel them off like that, all right?
Breadcrumbs.
With your knife, the back
Oh, no.
side of your knife, just scrape it off.
Green one.
What green one? This one?
Okay, pull it out.
And what? Cut the onions.
Pull the leaves off.
Yeah, that's called thyme. I think it's always nice to buy fresh herbs when you can. Everything that's fresh has more of its nutrients in it, but also I think it's just good to remember that these things come from plants. Sometimes we forget and we don't get to see the plant in the kitchen. And every once in a while, I'm just like, I should buy a real herb. Just
Eating away from those onions.
And you're just gonna chop it up as coarsely as you can, just give it a little, make it like this powder a little bit. And half of that will go into your pan and the other half will go into your. So I'm just gonna half that up. So that will go in there and this other pile will go in here. All right, it's already looking, coming together.
yeah.
Alrighty. We're gonna get your wild rice cooled off. We're gonna cool it off with cold water, rinse it in cold water.
Leave it there.
We can add it into here. You do not want to add no hot into your,
Been sitting there for a couple minutes.
of your meat. So I'm just gonna go get this strained off and I'll be right back.
Okay. So he's gonna go put some water over the wild rice and then strain it. Because you don't want to make your meatballs with really, really, really hot rice. And he was saying too that for this recipe, you can either do meatloaf or meatballs, whichever you prefer, whatever your family will eat. Sometimes the shapes of things is half the fun.
Yeah.
And thyme and like other herbs are things that you can grow in your home garden, or even you can grow it like right in your kitchen window. So if you guys really like thyme or really like basil or really like rosemary, it's a good idea.
Alrighty. So that couple wild rice cooked more to what it would be. So what you want to do is still get that same cup of cooked wild rice. Because if you add all this, you're just gonna have one big old lump of wild rice.
So you're gonna, even though we measured out a dry cup of wild rice, he actually only wants a cup of cooked wild rice.
Yep.
So you take the cup and measure out another cup. So that's 8 ounces, just like he's got. And he's adding that to the grated onion and garlic and thyme.
Yep, they'll go into your medium bowl. And
And we need a cup of
you
rice.
could also use your leftover wild rice and just have it at the side too, you know?
I got it.
Pepper. And I'm guessing like it would probably taste pretty good with that gravy on it.
You can watch you.
Okay, we're gonna add your meat.
Lean beef, ladies. Lean beef. I have never actually bought lean beef before today. I was told to get lean beef from Tyler, and I learned that lean beef is pretty good for you. I got this. Like they sell it everywhere. They sell it at Walmart. They sell it at different grocery stores. And what it means when it says lean is that there's less saturated fats. And saturated fats are the ones that like are a solid at room temperature. They sit like a solid. And so if you can imagine your body at room temperature having solids in your blood, that's what causes those blockages in your bloodstream. And that's what like causes like clogged arteries and stuff. So the less saturated fat, the better. And it actually just has less calories. So that's good too.
Alrighty, you're gonna wanna get your workstation a little cleared up. You're gonna have a hot pan on the,
I made a globe one.
your kids. You might wanna be careful while you're making your little meatballs. You're gonna end up putting them on your pan. But a good idea would be to have like a plate or something and just set them on a plate before you put them onto the sheet pan. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was for you, Sylvia. Since you're going to be making the meatballs with the little ones, if you want to get a plate to put the meatballs on, that way you put on the hot pan, just to be careful.
Okay, I lost them. I don't know where they went.
Oh gosh. They'll be back. They'll smell it.
They'll be back. Yep, they'll be back.
And what I've been hearing more and more, and like something that this recipe could also work, is bison meat
Yep.
as a replacement.
Yeah, very, very good. I believe the taste will be a little rustic. It'll be very like, you know, what's the word for it? I can't really place the word, but
It's a little different, huh?
yeah, it's a lot different what you would be used to, but you could only imagine what your body gets used to eating all that
True.
processed food
Okay, 2 plates.
Switching
like the
over
pink
to-
ones, 1 each.
and something a little more healthier
Finish
for
over
you.
here.
What I did was I measured out a 1/4 cup of this panko crumbs. I do not use an egg in this. Most people like use an egg as a binder.
Oh.
And that's the whole reason why I use the grater. That helps bind everything together.
Know that.
Wait, is that going in the wild rice mix with the
Yep,
onions
yep,
and
that's
stuff?
going in.
Okay.
Like that,
Or to the green one.
salt, pepper, the taste. You judge how much you put in.
I'm so bad. I always do too much salt and pepper. I'm like, whoa.
That's why I put it out on my hand, just
So smart.
how much I put on.
We're gonna do the meatballs.
Let's get our hands wet. The fun part is on.
All right, so he's washing his hands because he's gonna be mixing the meatballs up with his hands. So make sure you do that.
Hey, don't do that one. You can have one, Mary.
Now what?
So that was 1/4 of the breadcrumbs.
Yeah,
Yes.
1/4 cup, yep.
And I recently learned this. So when I was going to buy the breadcrumbs, they were like, oh, you can just go to the bakery and ask for breadcrumbs. So if you want a less processed breadcrumb, you can always just ask like the Lucan's Bakery or the Walnut Bakery, and they might have some.
Well, we're ready to dig in here. Get your hands ready for a good cause. You're trying to get everything gently, do everything gently so you don't press everything into just one area of your meatball. One little bite of an onion, then get a big bite of wild rice. Want everything to be evenly distributed.
The way that you were cutting it though.
I believe there's like a name for this too, like porcupine roast or quills or something.
Oh, cute.
Porcupine meatballs or something.
I promise it's not porcupine meat.
You guys can roll it out.
Honestly, I think I might try this recipe at home too. I've never made meatballs before. Another meat that my mom used to use a lot in replace of beef, just to be a little more lean and a little bit more healthy, was a lot of turkey meat. Ground turkey can taste a lot like beef if you still have all this onion and garlic and thyme and all these good things. So that's another meat alternative. Ground turkey is pretty good for those of you who don't eat a lot of it now. I like it. I grew up on it. My mom was lame. She never bought me real bacon. But it was like lower in calories. So I guess that was kind of good.
No.
Do you want to show it really quick? So there it is, all mixed together. Pretty uniform. Looks good.
You need to grab our pan out. So you gotta wash your hands again.
Oh, large potato.
You're right off on the lake where you get to wash your hands like 30 times.
Large potato. Oh. Oh. Oh, sorry. What are we doing with rice?
Huh?
What are we doing with the rice?
Put it in.
You're just gonna toss your fries and your curds around. Move them to one side of the pan. Make them for your meatballs or your loaf.
Should I stop with that?
No.
What's he doing?
Kind of like flip them so they bake on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen carrots get baked either.
Roasted.
Roasted.
Yeah.
Oh, now it makes sense.
Those all to one side of your pan, yeah? Okay.
Careful of that pan sauce. Over there.
Ready? You can get started on your meatballs.
How big should they be?
You
About
guys are gonna do some balls
1
here?
inch or so.
What?
Huh? They pretty much just make themselves too, actually, as you grab them out. Just grab like a
Wash
little,
your hands.
and
Wash your hands.
just gently do it. And just add it onto your,
Ah. Okay. Sure.
sure, so.
We'll just make little balls
And I believe that's the reason why they call them porcupine, because
like
it
this side.
sticks out as so.
And put it on the plate and then I'll
Fine.
put it on the tray.
This is going to be wet.
Put an inch or so away from each other, so have
Good.
space to cook.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Here, let me see. Look at the ones on the plate to measure up and see.
It'd be a great dinner to show up at like a football game or a cookout with. Something easy to throw together.
Yeah, perfect.
Have to like make the gravy for this.
Oh my god.
Throw barbecue sauce or. Having fun while you do it.
Just gonna have to put it in this.
I'll do half meatballs and then I'll.
Yeah, it makes a lot. I was worried that it wasn't gonna be a lot, but it really is,
It is.
which is perfect. I want it to feed a few people.
Probably enough for like 4 people or so.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it, which is perfect. Except for like I could eat everything. I'm the monster.
Thanks for lifting it up.
And if you're doing the loaf, what you want to do is this kind of same as your meatballs, just form your little patty like that.
Oh, that's not enough.
You want it to be like about an inch high. And just kind of flatten it out as so it
Why can't we
makes
do
yourself like a little loaf like that. The flatter it is, the quicker it will cook in the oven along with everything else.
Or maybe we'll do it on the.
I'm gonna get just a little bit of oil down, just to be sure that like it won't stick on you. Oops. Just a little left.
That's perfectly fine. And I'll read you guys what the doctor said about the olive oil. She said that olive oil has powerful plant chemicals that can fight cancer and heart disease. It actually lowers blood pressure. It's good for your brain. Olive oil helps you with your memory and with your learning and can protect your body from harmful bacteria that can cause cancer and ulcers. And it has a nice nutty flavor and works well in homemade salad dressing, sauteing, and on cooked vegetables. I recently learned that even though some people talk about like coconut oil a lot, coconut oil is really good for your hair, like on the outside of your body and for your skin. But coconut oil is like rock solid at room temperature, which means it just sits in your blood like that, like really solid and like clogs arteries and stuff. So you're actually a lot better off with something that's a liquid at room temperature, and olive oil is a lot better than vegetable oil for your blood. Definitely for your blood. Okay.
All right.
Grab a pen.
So here you can see his loaf and his meatballs. You can do whatever you like.
Little cooking
I
aspect.
think I remember seeing a scene on SpongeBob where he told the
Look at him. On using stuff in it.
it, so I kind of want to try that burger.
I really liked it.
I
Don't like it.
or we can just search it up.
I can't do nothing for you on this.
Yeah.
All right, we're supposed to make two, so it calls for 1 tablespoon. And I'm only making, so we're gonna half that up. And we're gonna just do a half a tablespoon. And I will, okay? So let's get that on there. Just, you can just use your finger or the spoon. Just rub that on top also.
Can they put that on their meatballs too?
Yep, you sure can. You can put a little bit on your meatball. Maybe, yeah, you actually the other half. So what I'll do is I'll just touch them up a little bit.
Just a little dollop of ketchup on all your little meatballs, friend.
I have a question. What is
Yeah?
that in the middle?
What's this?
Mm-hmm.
That is the same meat, except instead of making it into a meatball, we made it into a loaf.
And adult meatball. Alrighty, and that's ready to go back into the oven for about, I'd say about 24 minutes. 22 to 24 minutes. And
Are we
I'll
supposed to put
also-
anything in the meat on the meatballs or no?
Just the ketchup.
Okay.
Just what?
And I'm using a different tray than the potatoes and carrots. Do I put the carrots and potatoes back in too?
Yep. You just move those to the side. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I was doing it that way so I had less to clean up.
And then what about the gravy?
Yeah, I'll try. I have to get this cleaned up.
Oh, do you want to? I don't want
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no worries about it.
All right, well, that's in the oven. We're gonna make our gravy.
Made 'em.
I got it.
You skipped the part.
Okay, and that's where your butter comes in.
Okay, this is just.
You can either use butter or else just olive oil too.
Oh, okay.
That'll be no biggie. But the butter, the milk in the butter is what's gonna make your gravy.
Yeah, don't go for it. They have butter. And I got the unsalted butter so that it would have less like sodium because we're already adding some salt into the recipe. So this is unsalted butter. You have about double what you need. I think everyone got 2 tablespoons. You only need 1, so you can cut your butter in half, use as much as you want.
Actually, this one calls for like a half a tablespoon.
Ooh, a half a tablespoon. So butter is,
You'll get your pan on. So you'll get that on medium heat, medium high heat. Okay, you'll get that medium high heat.
Is
With
that
your butter,
just the pan, not the one
Yep.
with the rice, right? Okay.
We're gonna add water and your beef stock in there soon here. But we're gonna get that butter melted and we're gonna add in your onions, your garlic, and your thyme. We're gonna let those flavors just pop inside the oil here. That's gonna activate the spices and the aroma. It's gonna smell very awesome in here.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Wait, how much water?
No water yet. Right now, it's just gonna be butter.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you're gonna put the onion, garlic, thyme mix in there, and then we'll get to the water.
Alrighty, we're gonna cook this medium high heat for about 2 minutes here. Just keep stirring it. Got your garlic, your onions, and your thyme. We're gonna cook this down until
I lost.
and softened up.
It's so hard. So hard.
So while that's going, you're gonna measure up your liquid. So I believe it called for about a half a cup of water. Okay, half a cup of water and 1 cup of beef stock.
Can opener is right here.
A cup of that. You could just put that in your bowl that you have your other stuff in too.
Beef stock is supposed to be really good for you. So is bone broth.
Half a cup. Half a cup of water. Okay, like that. Now back to the stove. A little pinch of salt will help them veggies sweat too.
Oh, those look so good.
Okay, they look about ready. We're gonna add our broth and our water.
Yum.
Okay.
Yum, 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 yum.
All right, we're gonna let this boil for like 3 minutes. We're gonna let all these flavors just kind of marinate together for a minute here. Let's get a little sneak peek of our loaf and our meatballs here.
Ooh, looking good. Hi there. I'm glad you could join us.
Like that, take over for a couple of minutes here.
Oh, sure. How long do we have?
About 2 or 3 minutes here. I'm just gonna get this cleaned up.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so we have a few minutes. It looks like everybody's catching up too. So Sylvia's hard at work. And thanks for joining us. Is it Michelle? I'm forgetting your name now. You're on mute. There we go. No worries about joining us late. I actually am recording this whole thing, so I can send you the recording as soon as we're done, because we're on the tail end of things. But if you didn't get your ingredients, by the way, we have them here. So feel free to come and get them tomorrow if you didn't. But yeah, so I think that this is a really cool meal for a couple of reasons. It incorporates so many different food groups. With the wild rice, you have like basically a carbohydrate, and that's what the potatoes are too. So the carbohydrates in general, those are the things that give us energy. And then it's got protein. Those are the things that make us feel full. And that's the lean beef. And then it's got all of the vegetables. So you've got the carrots, you've got the onions, the garlic, and the thyme. And that's what gives you, that's basically your whole immune system. Everything that's going to keep you from getting sick is going to be the stuff that's in the vitamins and the minerals. And so it's a really complete meal. You can make this for your family, this whole dinner, and you know that everyone's getting something that they need out of it. Yeah. Don't know if anyone has any questions at the moment, anything food related. Tyler just lowered the heat on the gravy. So he had it boiling. He just kind of put it to a lower simmer.
This is where your flour comes in.
Oh, let me put it back on you then. You got stuff to say.
You might want to come wash over here.
Okay. It looks like he's gonna thicken his gravy with the flour. So here we've got, it's already thickening quite a bit. It's the onion, the garlic, and the thyme that were in the butter. And then it's beef stock with a little bit of water in there. And it's all boiling pretty good. And this is a homemade gravy. It's a lot healthier.
And this here is just a tablespoon of flour. Okay? And you might want to have like a whisk or a fork on hand. This is going to happen real fast. So you want to get in there real quick. And you're just going to sprinkle that around in there. And get to it quick so you don't get lumps in it. It's going to thicken real quick, real fast. Just keep stirring it. If you got lumps in there, try to just work them out the best you can. They kind of just cook themselves and simmer off as you go. And that's what thickens up your gravy here. Okay, what you're gonna do is this, you're gonna lower your heat to medium and just let that simmer while your meatballs and your ropes getting done. So if I'm timing it correct, you have like about 10 minutes to spare right now before you gotta pull everything else up. Yep, about 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
Just turn your gravy on low, medium, low. Keep it warm. Now, if anyone has any questions or any comments, now would be the time. Now that we got a little time to kick back and relax, get to know each other a little bit. How'd everyone like it so far?
You could, she just got here. If you wanted to explain a little bit of the recipe, you could.
Okay.
I don't know where she was. Oh, she's there.
And those of you just joining in, we were making meatballs and meatloaf tonight with homemade French fries and carrots. And we also have a little bit wild rice left over that we're fortunate to have. So we're just gonna make a meal out of it tonight. And, yeah, basically this
Yeah.
showed you guys how to multitask in the kitchen a little bit. And in a minute here, I'll show you how to portion control.
Oh, okay,
That'll be
cool.
a major part of it, because you know, like as you were saying, you can't have too much of one thing.
Okay. Well, what we can do is we can take a quick, I don't know, 5-minute break, just a quick bathroom break or whatever, while this cooks. 5 minutes, so we'll come back at 6:50. And that way you guys can like clean up a little bit in the kitchen, whatever, and then we'll show portion control with the finished product and we'll say goodnight. So 5 minutes. Hey guys, I hope you guys got a bathroom break or got some dishes cleaned up or just breathed. I think part of cooking is like how relaxing it is. It's a little stressful and we're all, trying to get things done on a camera, but overall, it's such a relaxing process and it's such a good way to like meditate at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day.
Oh, right.
The smell is like aromatherapy too.
Yeah, there you go. So while we're just like waiting for our dinner to come out, I just wanted to tell you guys what's next week. We'll be getting the ingredients again. So please come in. If you guys can come in on Tuesdays, I usually shop Tuesday morning. So Tuesday or Wednesday will work for pickup. And we're going to do, Tyler's going to do a maple glazed chicken with mashed sweet potatoes. So we're gonna try our sweet potatoes. We're gonna see how they go, and garlic green beans. So we're gonna do another dinner, so you guys can plan for that. Mona, did you have a question?
No, I was just trying to get back on.
Well, I'm glad to see your beautiful face. Thanks for joining us again. And so I think it's just really like, I hope you guys notice that we're bringing in some of the like culturally traditional foods here, the wild rice, that we have accessible, and a maple glaze instead of barbecue sauce or something like that. And chicken, we're going to try a white meat this time. So see how that goes. And Tyler's doing a fantastic job planning some of these meals. We were just talking about doing a breakfast one of these days too. But if there's anything that you guys, an ingredient that you always get that you never know what to do with, or something you grow in your garden that you don't know what to do with, it's just something you've always wanted to learn. We want this to be a space where we all chat and talk and like unpack what it means to cook in 2022 when prices are going up and, things are different than they used to be. So please feel free to either reach out to me personally or share in this chat anytime that you have a thought on our cooking class and what you want to see. I'm buying the ingredients. It's on somebody else's dime. So tell me what we wanted to cook and make what you always wanted to try.
I got a question.
With that, this meal is just about wrapped up. Do you think it's ready yet? Okay. So we'll pull it out really quick and talk a little bit about portioning it out. So like, yes, it's easy to make food sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to make food. I am really bad, and when I buy mac and cheese, I eat the whole box every time. So I actually really need this lesson too. And I'm really curious about what type of food show us here. So the gravy is just about done and the stove is off. And we're gonna pull everything out of the oven, and you guys can as well, right? Are they good to go? So yeah, Sylvia, I don't know if you want to check on yours in the oven. And we're almost done here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull one out, but that's thermal. Yeah.
Look, if not, we have like possibly paper plates. Let me go look.
In the meantime, we'll check on that. Look, okay? Rachel's just gonna go find us something to plate up on. Goodies on. We're perfect.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is ridiculous. Looks so good. It smells so good. That's why they're called porcupine meatballs. Got the wild rice sticking out.
We're just gonna cut this and maybe check the middle, see if it's done, okay? Oh, look at that, nice and tender. You know it's done when it's tender like that. Hey, don't see no thinking, man. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut it lengthwise, crosswise like that.
Sarah. Can you take a picture of this? I don't know how.
It's easy too to do the meatballs because it looks like that needs to solid.
Yeah, it
To
needs to
dry.
sit. It needs to rest. You need to let it rest for a while if you're doing the wall. But the meatballs. Look perfect.
There you
So I'd say maybe about 3 or 4 meatballs per person or so.
So I hope you guys heard that, 3 or 4 per person. So thinking about sharing this with your family, thinking about, you know, all of the good wild rice in there is going to really fill you up. So not needing, you know, to eat all of them. You can if you want, go nuts.
We're gonna put our roasted, just about a few ounces of those. You like to do like about your palm. And about your veggies, you like to do more than like half your plate with veggies and try to cut down on the starches here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna barely even put in some fries on here, okay? So that's our starch. We got our protein, we got our veggies. Let's get that gravy over here. That's how our gravy turned out.
Amazing. It looks so good.
We're just gonna spoon a little bit of that over. You could even use like a little tablespoon or so. Put that. And voila, you got your dinner tonight.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, guys.
I hope you
Thanks.
enjoyed it. And I hope you're gonna enjoy it. I had a very good time cooking for you guys here tonight and showing you what I do now. And also learning a few things here.
Yeah, Sylvia gave it the thumbs up. Love that. I hope you and your family enjoy it. I think like what I love about this recipe is like you're hiding some really good vegetables in meat. So I think a lot of kids will go for it, you know, throwing your onions and garlic in there and just getting into that habit of adding onions and garlic to everything. Like they are so powerful. And in this pandemic times, that antiviral, antibacterial, those properties are like literally warding off vampires. Like it's so powerful in your bloodstream. They could actually be really good for getting rid of mosquitoes too, in the summertime, but just really, really powerful medicine. So add them to your eggs tomorrow morning. You guys have a whole garlic, okay? Use it, and miigwech for spending your evening with us.
All right,
Thank you.
see you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.